Okay, testing one, two, three. Okay. This um I would have done this sooner. Something came up. I'm not gonna say other than it's pretty bad. So this is like a last minute kind of thing that I'm doing right now. What what I'm doing right now is basically the steps I'm gonna show are first thing I did was plan out how I'm gonna have the layers. And I'm gonna keep the colors in like it's a folder layer, so that way I can just like turn it off and on. And I have the reference here to so that I can go back into it and like see. But I'm also using it as a way to like have so I don't have to really measure it. I can have it measure itself by using the reference so that it's the same length and width. The first thing I'm gonna do is turn this off and apply a background to it. God dang it. Once I have the background, I'll move on to line layer and start. I'm gonna start like basically making the body. Like how do I explain this? I have my own style to still, so I have my own style when it comes to this stuff. So I like to first actually like t turn this off a bit, then really think about how I want to do this. S- that's the part that's gonna be hard in a sense because I'm still not that good when it comes to like actual like per people drawing. So I'm just gonna draw since we're not gonna have like it's not graded by how we looks. I'm it's graded by how we explain the process. What I'm gonna do first is like sort of like make a little line to like figure out how I want the body to be posed. I'm gonna keep it in the corner, like in the corner, sort of. I want to keep it like somewhere up here. Like try to measure, like try to keep the body up there. Leave the bottom for whatever else I have planned, and figure that out later. Then I just plan out where the head is and figure out what the torso, the hips gonna be first. I'm thinking of doing something like this. I have music playing in the background, so if you hear me stop talking, it's mostly me just listening to music. Well, the one thing I like about Photoshop, you can just like you can easily just fix any form of mistakes on here, undo it and redo it with basically ease. I remember seeing the issue here. Okay, all right, great. I don't know how to do those speed drawing things, so this is mostly just me, like, just drawing. I'm trying my best to like keep everything. I'm getting better with like keeping the human proportions on it at the most. Since I'm doing trying to recreate the artwork of Sun Wukong, I'm trying to go for that mostly. Also, the little character you see on the corner, I'm just doing that so that you can like see, like have something to look at, like actually see a person talking. In the original, he has the staff like here, so I'm planning on like just plan it. I'm just planning out how I want it to like how I want everything. Like just draw like a little figure, a stick figure ish character. And I'm basing this off like my understanding of like modern what like a modern day Monkey King. Most of the time they mostly just draw him with a human head. So I'm just gonna try to keep that sort of approach to it. I'm probably gonna fix this a little bit more, like have it like have the back like have the back more in the sense like make it easier to see the like right now I'm just drawing it and making like adjustments here and there. Eventually, once I'm sure of where he's at, I either hide it. But the next thing I do is just take the opacity, lower it down a bit, so that when I do the next part, which is to like the refine lines, those are more like that's the area where it's at the most solid that I'm gonna go for, basically. Like if I feel like that part is the best right now, then I'll just go for that. So far, everything seems good to me. All I gotta do now is just like try to make the lines look more smoother. Probably change the try probably I'm probably gonna change like the pen pressure. I mean, change to a different pen, like hard round pressure size for more either that or just I'll continue using hard round to actually yeah, I'm just gonna use hard round for now just for that. I'm probably not gonna be able to get this done, in honesty. So I'm just gonna be it's gonna be pretty sloppy. I'm gonna increase the opacity of the pan. Then I'm just gonna like start doing something like this. I like to start with the head first and just like I just like to start with the hand, basically, and fix it up. If there's anything that looks off, I just usually just go back later and fix it. From my understanding of the Monkey King or Sun Wukong, they mostly don't really design him in a way to be muscular, and the majority of the time there's no realistic version of him that I have seen. So I just go with any style that's like in my field of understanding. With the hands, I try to go for more cartoonish way of drawing hands. I'm gonna be honest, it does not look good. I usually take the time like to erase some things here and there and try to make some like small adjustments here. Next thing, once I'm done with the fine layer, I then try to add more detail to it. I will try to add more detail to it, like on top of it. Like I'm just making like the final body, you may say. Basically, I'm just focused on like giving it shape and trying to have it prepare when I want to add like fur face clothing. Sort of like I'm just preparing it because the thing with Photoshop is you can just like it makes things super simple when it comes to like digital drawing. Where you don't have to worry too much about anything as long as you know what you're doing. And I will say this: the first thing we'll notice is that the the proportions are off a lot. Like I said, sun came up. I'm short on time, so I'm not going to focus on proportions of anything, and they side graded on it, which I'm actually happy about. I will in the future do like make some changes to this because this is something I actually wanted to do for a long time. Just I'm lazy about that. Not lazy by choice, lazy based on situations and stuff like that, or any kind of problem that might come up. The way they depicted Sun Wukong is more like it's up to a person's interpretation of him. It's like it's like up to them to like decide how he's gonna look, how he's gonna act, which story that you're willing to use, all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing right now is like the most simple form of like if you don't feel like you don't feel like drawing like a person's holding something, what you can do is like a simple process where you just crunch the hands to a certain amount so that crunch the hands a bit. That way you don't have to really worry about you don't really have to worry about too much about them holding something. I would say like erase like where you see here, just erase that bit so that it'll work. And probably erase something over here if you want something to hold, want them to hold something. As you can see, the wrist is breaking a lot. I just do this mostly. Just it's not really a refined line, but it's the best. It's the line I'm gonna. It's the design I'm gonna go with for now. I'm probably gonna now just add another layer and then use this as a like. I'm gonna turn down the opacity on this one, then just hide this layer. This layer I'm just gonna name like detail. And now I'm going to work on the next part, which is adding the actual like all the other stuff like the armor and everything and the weapon. From what I can tell, the use of line, hold up, the use of line that was used here to create the fur and everything, the feet, they don't look right at all. So this it's purposely made in this way. So I don't really have to worry about it too much. I shouldn't really worry about it fully, but I do like how it just this the way the design makes you reminds you that it's an animal. And I can see if I zoom in here, it may look blurry, but I can still tell like where the face is. There's no hair, not too much hair with how they put the lines. Everything else, the only places that don't have visible hair are the hands, feet, and the face and ear. So when I do design, like put the details on, I'm going to have to put the whole clothing. I'll put the clothing on first, and then work on the hands and face, and where to place the ears. Then afterwards, start figuring out how I want to do the hair. Because I can do the normal cartoon way, or I can go for the more like crazy way. but that will take too long because, well, it's my fault and my luck. So I'm gonna go with like simple, a sort of visual design when it comes to fur in today's modern era, rather than try to copy or use their version of it. Sorry, probably gonna change the pan for this one. I'm gonna go with my normal art style when it comes to like I'm gonna go with my style when it comes to like making faces. Or I'm just gonna do something like this. Like I'm gonna give him like a human sort of face design that I usually make. I usually do point noses and stuff. For the eyes, I just go for more like I just go for these kind of. I like to do these kind of eyes often, where there's like a little lip here. Every time I look at it, I try to go over it a couple times when I do the right eye. Try to figure out how to do that eye the most. That's the eye I kind of struggle with the most. I can do fine with the like. This is technically the left eye. So when it comes to the right eye side, it's different. Even if I flip it, I always have trouble with like the right eye all the time. When I do the now for the mouth, it's more like just it's experimental kind of deal. Like I go with something, then just change it afterwards. For example, if the head feels too small for the mouth, I make the head a little bit bigger, or make it a little bit longer here. Like how they have the ear, it's most like the ears above the eyes, and they look kind of they look pointy in the sense of. So I want to keep that because that's simple to me, like simple, but it makes sense to add. Like the ears are up here, so having points like this. Try not to go. I'm not trying to go for one to one, more like just making it how I feel. I'm just making it how I would, but in a sense of based on what I feel, it should look something like this. In in most modern designs, they do something like this for like keep the eyes not really connected to they keep the eyes like separated from the head. That's like most like kid shows, how most kid shows do it. I'm gonna go for that because it's a sort of style I'm used to. I hadn't found the art style for myself fully, so it's based on how much I can like develop for myself. Like if I can do it, if I can practice it enough and it works, I sort of keep it. And then I do something over here where I don't really realize it, but it actually works. So I just try to keep keep it there. Where I just like start doing like it's something like a Wolverine, like hair fuzz in a way. In most shows and series, there was depicted of him. I'm doing something like that where I'm making it fuzzy, the like visible fuzzy. Like that's where I'm gonna go for mostly. Like make it fuzzy, like where it's more visible, but make it blurry, fuzzy here. There's some tools on Photoshop that lets me make it more blurry, make it easier for me to blur it, make it blur. This one, I'm doing some like hair designs for this one. Like I'm doing the anime-ish hair designs while also incorporating what's visible. Like for example, that the headband that is in the original is very visible. So I'm doing something like this, where I have it like get the feeling like it's on him. Like from the way the drawing looks, it's like really on him. But I did something different where I have the headband under his ears. I mean, not under his ear, but more close to his eyes, but have the ears above it because I'm gonna struggle a bit with that. For the eyes, I do more like I try to try something like if I don't like how it looks like this, I try to cover one eye and then imagine how it looks. To me, it's hard to say. I would say like I try to if it doesn't look good, it's more difficult and more time consuming. But I'm gonna actually undo a lot. This eye seems the most like the quickest and easiest to do. Now here's the part where it's gonna be like struggling with the right eye. Also, I like to do this a lot where it has these lines right here. just by putting them there, it just gives the feeling of it's a lot. They're older. Don't know why. It just works. Now the clothing, I'm gonna simplify this one as well for the clothing. He has like a little band around his neck that like sort of covers it, but at the same time, I would prefer to do this. That way I don't have to do too much work with the shoulders and stuff. And another thing, it seems there's like a big, hold up, it covers his shoulders. There's something here that covers his shoulders a lot, and some like half of his arm. So I'm just gonna go for that. Where the first part would be like from my concern, it's like mostly like rags, more like sheets ish. Like I said, it's not gonna be the best. This is mostly just like a quick draw. I mean, mostly just me drawing, just drawing it. I would explain why I couldn't do this sooner. That way it would look better. I I would like to say it's something personal, and I'm not. It's I'm not in a good state. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not in a good state when it comes to this. I'm at my best when I don't feel drained, and it's not like work or anything. I don't even have a job yet. It's mostly just like I said, personal. So I'm just doing this to just to talk, so that it feels in the little gaps, so to speak. I'm just like filling in the gaps with just some talk. I'm planning on posting this. Um, I'm gonna post this in the comment, the discussion thing, whatever. If anybody knows me on Discord, if anybody knows me, my name's Sherman, and if you're in the same Discord as me, you can just send me a message if you're wondering what's up, I guess, or want to talk. I'll be there. From what I can tell, the clothes are flexible. From what I can see, like they kind of bend with his body. So I'm just trying to keep that and sort of keep that bend flow. I'm also just making it how I can guess the clothes would be like I said before, it's not gonna be perfect. Well, it can't really make perfect anything perfect. Right now, I'm just focusing on just having it done so that I can because I'm not just gonna turn it in like some quick quick drawing because then I'm pretty sure they'll probably grade that. It may not look good, but at least I have it like complete. Like there's actually something there. What I'm doing right now is like I'm doing something where I don't have to put lines like a lot of lines here. I'm making it so that I put some lines like where the arm would be and detail later. Like let me show you how it looks without like the arm's all fuzzy and stuff. Like basically I'm putting texture on there with simple lines. And all I have to do later is just put some lines here to give it so that to give it some shape, a little bit of direction to like separate the two arms. He does have some fuzzy on his pants. Like I don't know what those are. So what I'm gonna do is like try to make something like that. What I'm planning for the background, what I'm planning to add to the background is like a little how do I say this? Like a little cloud he sits on. Rather than him standing on the cloud, he'd be sitting on the cloud. I'll be doing something like that instead. I'm trying to keep in mind like how trying to keep in mind how the arm, like hair arm, would work in the sense of it would still be affected by gravity. Even if it's a mystical beast, hair can still be affected by the wind and all that stuff. It can still stand up and stuff like that. If he's like standing still, so I try to do like smaller bits of hair here so it works. Now for what I'm about to do for the color, it's more or less I'm just gonna that one's gonna be more, let's say, just simple splotches of color. Because the original, there wasn't really much. The original didn't have much color to it. You can see two colors on the clothing. That one had like a mix of like that one had like a mix of like green and it's like complementary colors from what I can tell, green and red. I was gonna use like do the same method with the hands and feet, but I'm just gonna probably gonna just do the feet like that, where they're all like weird little black hands, but not black hands, but like just weird looking. Like I said, in the future, I'm probably gonna do like come back to this, redo it, either redo it from the beginning or just make the changes where it needs to be. If you're if I do plan this, put this in the comment section. I mean, the comment section. God, I'm talking like a YouTuber. My bad. If I put this in the discussion, I'm gonna when I put this in the discussion, uh, I'm probably gonna. Sorry, it's hard for me to focus and talk. So I'm just gonna say this before I continue. I'm just gonna post this in discussion and get hope to get feedback from everyone else who sees this. I'm trying to make the feet look pretty weird. Like you can, it basically looks like hands. It makes sense, monkey. It would make sense for the monkey to have like hands on his feet. I'm going to still try to color it. Here's a once I remove the refine lines. Honestly, it actually looks pretty decently okay. Like when you like really look at it from afar. I can add some like smaller details here where the elbows are, or just like add a little bit less pressure and just do little small lines here. It won't be visible enough, but just small amounts where you can see them just enough. I'm trying my best to keep them in the same direction that the other lines are going, so that you can still see them, but also it connects well. I'm probably gonna do something like this with the tail. Since he's like a giant humanoid monkey from what they depicted, it makes sense to make his tail about like something similar to a panther tail in the sense of how thick it is. It wouldn't make sense for the monkey tail to be like the way they depicted him in most movies that I've seen. He basically fights with like as a wild animal, but he does it in a way where he just toys with everyone. Even if someone like even if he does get serious, like he's still goofy about it. Like the games they have of him now kind of depict him as like super serious. To me, I feel like that's a little much. In my opinion, he's meant to be a goofy character. Well, not meant to be. He can be whatever. It just people depict him in a way where he's either super complicated person, where it's hard to understand him, sort of deal, or he's just straight up just the most goofiest character imaginable. Like if I remove everything for now, I'm gonna keep the color schemes pretty much the same. I forgot to add the weapon. I did not mean to click that. Shoot, I keep forgetting that. Keep forgetting that. For the staff, I'm just gonna do something like this. In most stories, they depicted him taking the staff out of his ear. Because of how I kind of messed up the position of the arm and stuff, and I may need to fix the hands a bit. So it actually looks like he's trying to hold it. I mean, he has weird hands, so let's take that into account, I guess. Yeah, like I said before. Okay, in all honesty, dang it. Sorry for my language. Just I do that a lot. The way I'm gonna have it, the staff's not gonna have any detail on it. I will fix it in the future, probably during one more, during the break. I'm gonna add another layer and just name this one background detail. This layer, I'm just gonna take the drawing tool and just make a bunch of stuff behind, like what first one is here. I'm just gonna, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I'll fix this later. I'm gonna increase the pen size a bit, then try to sort of. What I'm gonna try to do is like make have it make sense where the cloud is. The cloud is like a bunch of swirls, lines. I'm gonna at least try and make it look decent. It may look weird now, but once I add colors to it, like color to the character, it's gonna make it look a little bit better. Like I said, as long as we explain the process, it'll be fine. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but yeah, I was planning on making it so that he has his mouth open so I can put the other parts in it, like the little monkeys, the little monkey drawings. I was gonna put them on the bottom, but I kind of don't really have much time. I'm not gonna. So the next part I'm gonna do is add the colors and stuff. Like I'm gonna take the original background and not there, actually go here. I'm gonna look at the original layer. It's like a greenish blue background. So I'm gonna try to match that color. Uh, is it greenish blue or yellowish blue? I'm probably gonna go with a little bit yellowish blue. I mean green, yellowish green, or somewhere like between here, somewhere here. Then I'm just gonna take the most faded, faded version. Try to adjust it here. Add a little bit more green. Make it a little bit more faded. Then once I do that, I turn this back on. Take the bucket. Where is it? Where's it? Oh, okay, it's here. I usually click this, but I just hit one. I should have just done that. Then click here. There we go. That's and yeah, this should be good. This adds this actually adds a little bit more to it. If I turn this off, the color of this background makes the red pop up a lot more. So what we're gonna do here, first turn this on. Actually, look, yeah, I'm gonna turn this back on. The parts that are the parts that are like rope or something, I'm gonna make it like brownish, a brownish red. Like go somewhere near orange, and then darken it a bit. It's like a reddish one, a reddish brown. Th- There we go. It's like a reddish brown to me. Once I have that, I just sort of just do this. This one right now, I don't really have much time left because I still got the journal entry to take care of, so I'm just gonna do like a very sloppy job on this one. With each layer, they're gonna be covering each other, so I don't have to worry too much about it. For the fur, what I'm gonna do for the fur after this is just make it like a gray, make it simple gray. Use the same color, but turn it gray. I usually make a folder for each color I use. But it's like for like a let's say I'm making a character. I have a specific folder for them at all times. Usually that open. Okay, that's how it looks right now. So far, it looks actually pretty good with the colors I chose. Not the exact colors, but I'm not going for exact. The clothing, the top part is like a red, like a red. So I'm just gonna probably just do like make this lighter, then actually no, make a new layer, put this under that, then just I'm going for like I didn't change the pen because I'm trying to go for like a smudgy look to it. Don't know why. I just something tells me just to go for like a smudgy look and create like a form of direction with it. Make it like so it's like I'm using having brush strokes put on it. For the parts that I can clean up, I'm just gonna like I can quickly clean up. I'll just do that. Then the next thing, make a new layer, place it under the old layer, like two, three, four. That's how I keep it like that, where the color is in that order. I usually go more detail in that. keep it in red, but make sure it has like that grayish. To fill in the white areas, I just do something like this. And in the area that's white, I just draw in it. It fills it in depending on what color you use. As long as you're smart about it, you can like you basically use any color. For the background as well, I have an idea for that actually. Funny enough, if I wanted it to have the same feeling as like that woody wood feel, like that would if I wanted to have the same feeling as wood, I could probably do something similar. Also, I gotta erase this little area here. That one I'm gonna make a little bit lighter and create a new layer. It's in order, so I know which one's what. That's mostly for me. Like I know which layer's what. I'm actually gonna keep it brown. Funny enough, they actually I actually picked the right color for this one, or like a reddish brown. I'm trying to keep it in a way where it matches with the flow of the hair. And if I wanted to as well, I can splash it in here too. That way it's not complete, like I say, I try to my best to avoid it being complete white, any form of complete white. Like if there's some white there, I want to experiment with it a bit, and then afterwards get some opinions on it to see if that was the right call or not, or there could be something else done. I try to avoid complete white, but if it makes sense in some areas, then I just leave it. Like it works. To me, this feels like just like a younger version of Sun Wukong before he like does all these adventures and stuff and gains some form of immortality, like gain his immortality, so to speak, or gave himself. I don't know if he. I had. I don't remember the full lore of it. It feels like he just gave himself immortality through by being goofy. He basically ate a peach that made him immortal. He wrote himself out the book of death. Like they wrote it, like erased his name off of it. But that's stuff I've seen like from other people's predicted stories of him. To me, it's just mm, it's up in the air for me on that front, like how they depict him story wise. I don't know though. I like this. I like the story of Sun Wukong. It was the one stories that like created the character that I love today. I knew I forgot something. Turn this up. I'm gonna be honest. I never really fully tested. I never fully used Photoshop to this degree. So I don't know what there is I can use in Photoshop yet. I'm using the color as a way to like. I'm using the. I'm using the color just to fill in the areas that feel pretty empty. The final part I'm gonna do. I'm still using the color layers on this one. But I'm moving six all the way to the back. This one I'm gonna like try to experiment to figure out if I can get that same grindy background. Chunky charcoal. Something like this. So I'm probably gonna use something like this. I'm probably gonna check before I do anything. I'm probably gonna check. Okay, I'm actually gonna. I'm going too far with this. I'm looking at the background layer. It's like a greenish brown. I'm probably gonna what I'm gonna do is like mix two colors in it. I'm gonna mix the two colors I have in there now. I forgot to change the how potent the opacity. I'm holding shift as I'm doing this. I almost forgot about this. I'm gonna try not to. The final thing, I wouldn't say the final thing, but what I'm gonna do is finish this. What I'm gonna do for this one is like try to make it so it fits in the hand a bit better. I'm trying my best to make it look or organic, like make it make sense. The last, actually, the final thing, the real final thing, in my opinion, is just I'm just gonna like draw like draw some things here. What I'm trying to do here is just create a path. For the most part, I did what I could do. I did what I could do. I did what I could. I'm going to try to improve it later. I try to improve it when I can. So far, here's my reimagining of the Monkey King Sun Wukong in sort of my style, I guess. Hope you have a good day.